What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for February 10th, 2025. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to our final and probably biggest Victory Monday edition of the year. Yes, our Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl 59 champions, 40-22 over the Kansas City Chiefs. And as I've done all year, I'm going to go through this without really watching and doing too much. This is just my natural take on the game based on what I saw. But pure domination, absolute domination from start to finish. And the defense was just outstanding. The pressure they got, and they said the stat 1,000 times on the broadcast, did not blitz once, yet had Patrick Mahomes sacked so many times, forcing him into bad throws. And just, you got to credit Vic Fangio for putting that game plan into place. Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, they just absolutely dominated. Howie, right now, I know we still got to worry about the parade and everything. You need to be on the phone with Zach Bond's agent and extend him now. Outstanding by him. Cooper DeJean, outstanding. The secondary, outstanding. Just top to bottom, that defense was just absolutely dominant. And then Jalen. Can we finally put it to bed? Can we put the whole Jalen Hurts narrative to bed? He was outstanding. He had a couple throws that I'm sure he would like to have back when there was pressure on him. But from the very jump, he was outstanding. MVP, I mean, he was running the ball. He was passing the ball. That pass to Devontae Smith was an absolute dime. The pass to A.J. Brown that got called back for pass interference was an absolute dime. Can we finally just stop it? Stop the whole Jalen stuff. And I cannot wait to hear what the national people say today. But the dude is a Super Bowl champion. The dude was outstanding. He's the MVP of the Super Bowl. Can we just end it? It's just number 2. We got our second one. And honestly, this one definitely hits a lot differently than the first. I think the first was just the emotions of winning the first one. This one, I feel, is more satisfying. And I think we needed this as Eagles fans. That first one, nothing will ever top that. Nothing will ever top that. It was the first one. It was such a magical, just special moment with the Phillies special. Nick Foles, the backup quarterback, knocking off Tom Brady. All of the different storylines. That one was just different. This one, however, I feel we needed this one. And now, like, an absolute domination of the two-time defending champions. I think, for me anyway, I feel like we have more credibility now. We have 2. I talked yesterday about moving up in the levels of the club. We're in VIP getting bottle service now. We're one of only 16 teams in the league, so only half the teams in the league have won multiple Super Bowls. Our Philadelphia Eagles are one of them. We're not with the general admission peons anymore, like the Saints and the Jets, the Bears. We're not with them anymore. We've moved up a tier, and I think with the way we've done it, like, truthfully, this might be the most dominant defensive performance in the Super Bowl. And I know the 85 Bears team, that was incredible, but the Patriots just weren't as good. I think the fact that this team was the 2-time defending champions and this is how you treated them, it could be up there. And I'll get into all of that once I have time to do the research and look at it today, in between running to the Eagles Pro Shop and finally getting a haircut and all that other stuff. But it could just be the most dominant defensive performance in the history of the Super Bowl. And yeah, they got 2 garbage touchdowns late, but this was like a 40-6 game. Like, it was 24-0 at halftime, 34-6 after the fourth quarter, or going into the fourth quarter. Like, listen, this is bizarre to me, and I texted this out on one of my text chains. With 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, We knew we were going to win the Super Bowl. No, we weren't sweating it out. We weren't doing it. We knew we were going to win the Super Bowl. We had our backup quarterback in the game. That is domination. I could see this in a regular season game or even a playoff game. But this was the Super Bowl, and we absolutely dominated. And like I said, this one hits differently. I am ecstatic. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like this stamps it, validates it, and we belong in the conversation with the elite NFL teams now, the teams that everybody talks about, that, oh, the storied franchises and everything like this. We belong in that conversation. And Giants fans, I'm sure you guys are miserable right now. Cowboys fans, absolutely miserable right now. Commanders fans, okay, you got, your future is bright. But, I mean, if we're really being honest, this could be the start of the Eagles dynasty, because Jalen Hurts ain't going anywhere. Offensively, those guys aren't going anywhere. Is Saquon going to have as magical of a season next year as he did this year? Probably not. But the defense is young. You gotta re-sign Bond. But this could be the start of a dynasty, and I don't think it's far-fetched. Yesterday may have been far-fetched before the game. I think they proved it. This could be. You've been to 2 Super Bowls in the past 3 years. You've won one of them. The future is bright. I mean, who knows? Let's get crazy and start dreaming it. But total domination yesterday. Looks like a possible parade on Friday. The Eagles sent a cryptic tweet out and said, "See you Friday," which I'll just have to rearrange some things at work, but I will make sure I'm there. But just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let's go back and look at the 5 keys. We have 2 bonus ones for the Super Bowl yesterday and see how we did. Number 1 was do your job. I think everybody did their job, whether it was the defensive line, the linebackers, people tackled, the secondary, Jalen, Saquon. He couldn't get the run game going, but he made a couple key catches. Jake Elliott did his job. The special teams coverages did their job. Braden Mann had a great punt. Like, everybody did their job. Number 2, pressure Mahomes, and boy, did they ever. That's a huge check. We got that one. But, man, they were all over him. 3, take what they give you on offense. And that's what they did. They couldn't get the run game going, but Jalen had a couple scrambles on 3rd downs for first downs, long ones that kind of iced the game. He was taking the shots with the receivers. You want to shut down Saquon? Fine, we'll beat you with our receivers. And that's exactly what happened. They took what they gave them, and it worked out. Keep your emotions in check was number 4. I think for the most part, they did a good job with that. No real stupid penalties. There was a point on the sideline where AJ and Nick got what looked like a little heated, but they were fine. AJ came right back and scored a touchdown. Kept their emotions in check, and that's what you needed. And the 5th key was Jalen's be great. Jalen Carter was an absolute beast. I feel he was getting held on every play. But he was a force, opened it up for those other guys, and just was what he is. This dude is going to be trouble next year. And then Jalen Hurts, MVP of the game. He was running the ball well, passing the ball well. The dude is a winner. And can we finally get off the narrative that, oh, Jalen Hurts can't throw? It's ridiculous. But I mentioned Jake Elliott was outstanding. Nick Sirianni, in his speech, kind of gave a little subtle shot to Kellen Moore and said, let's run this shit back. I guess nothing really is official yet, so who knows. But I'll have more on this game tomorrow once I have time to kind of go through and process it. But what a win. We are Super Bowl champions. We, the Philadelphia Eagles, now have 2 Super Bowls. There was a time in my life I was just happy to get to 1, let alone winning it. And now we have 2. Let that sink in. This is a special, special time. And I love every minute of it. All right, for the final time this year, every day after the game, we vote on the GOAT of the game, and so many people you could go with here. Josh Sweat, Jalen Hurts, Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean. But I think it comes down to Josh Sweat and Jalen Hurts. So who do you got for the GOAT of the game? 267-495-8531. That'll get you in. If you think it's anybody else, let me know. Also, if you're on the Back to the Future voice and text line, I have quite a few voicemails from folks. A couple different folks just living the dream last night. I will go through them today, possibly even get some of them on this week as we celebrate a Super Bowl victory. But who's your go to the game? Josh Sweat, Jalen Hurts, or do you want to go Carter or DeJean? And want to go Vic Fangio? Everybody's fair game today. So who do you got for the go to the game? 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line. All right, still not too late to get your Girl Scout cookies from Ella. Why not celebrate? Celebrate the victory and buy some cookies. The information you need is in the description. Be sure to follow me on social media, Jimbo_Mont on Twitter and TikTok. On Instagram, @PhillyJimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jimbo_Mont. Continue to spread the word. We are world champions, and let's outsmart the algorithm. Check out our friends at the On Pattison newsletter. Great coverage. Cannot wait to read today's newsletter and just relive the entire day yesterday. All right, because we have to. Sixers lost 135-127 to the Bucks. I did try to watch the game yesterday. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Too nervous. But interesting tidbit. Lisa Salters had a sideline report saying that Joe's likely going to need another knee surgery with an extended recovery time, that he's still keeping them, like, just right now he's managing it, but he's going to need the extra another surgery, which to me, the Sixers didn't really come out and say that, but they're like, we're looking into all options. If he needs a surgery, get it done now. Toss away the rest of the season, get it done now if it's going to make it work. But I don't know. I'm not letting him do that to me today. That's enough Sixers talk for today. Not letting him do it. No, not going to do it. Not today. Not today, Sixers. Not today. But they are in action tomorrow up in Toronto. Be sure to check out my boys at the Clashing Conferences podcast. This one with the NFC East should be a good one. Maybe, just maybe, they'll allow Greg to speak. That is available wherever you get your podcast as well as on YouTube. And then go to Philly Goat. They got the Champions gear already. If you're going to the Eagles Pro Shop to look for or Rally House, wherever, to look for the official gear, and they're sold out, Philly Goat's got you covered. Couple different champion options. Cannot wait to spend all the money I won on block pools yesterday on Eagles gear. I'm going to be spending some at Philly Goat. Be sure to use that promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order. PhillyGoat.com. Get your Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champions gear from Philly Goat. Use that promo code for 10% off. Of course he had it out. I think Ryan from Philly Goat did beat the NFL with, I think I got the Philly Goat email before the official NFL email. So shout out to Ryan for that. But go to Philly Goat, get your Super Bowl champions gear, and let's effing go. Pitchers and catchers report on Wednesday. The week just keeps getting better. It's going to snow though, which is why I think the parade is on Friday, but it's going to be a good week. I feel like no matter what happens, I got so, like, having the parade on Friday is going to really mess up my entire week, but oh well, it is what it is. Nothing is going to bring me down today. All right, today we're going to go back to 2002. And on this day in 2002, the NBA All-Star Game took place at the First Union Center. It was rescheduled from 1999. It was pushed back due to the lockout. The West team beat the East 135-120. Hometown hero Kobe Bryant was the MVP, 31 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, but he was booed. And Jim Gray did ask him on the sideline if it hurt his feelings, and he was like, yeah, my feelings were hurt. And it's like, stop it, Kobe. Like, I love Kobe. God rest his soul. I loved him after he retired. He kind of grew on me more. But stop it. You knew exactly why you were booed. You said the year before in the NBA Finals you wanted to rip our hearts out. So of course we're going to boo you. And he's like, oh, woe is me. That's the one thing Kobe did that I hated. Like, he played the victim in that All-Star game. And no, we booed you because you literally said less than a year before you wanted to rip our hearts out. So that's why you were booed. And not only did you say you wanted to do it, you actually did it. So, yes, that's why we booed you. But I watched the interview again, and he's on the sideline. Hurts, all I can do is keep going out and having fun. And stop it. You weren't worried about getting booed when you were ripping our hearts out the year before in the finals. Anyway, the Sixers that year were represented by Allen Iverson and Dikembe Mutombo, who both started that year in the All-Star game. AI struggled, only 5 points on 2 for 9 shooting. Dikembe was solid with 8 points, 10 rebounds, and a block. But on this day, it was all about Kobe winning the MVP of the All-Star game in Philly, getting booed, and then not understanding why he was booed. Telling you, had something to do with saying you're going to rip our hearts out and then actually ripping our hearts out. But it doesn't matter because you made up for it at Super Bowl 52 when you were doing your celebration. And I know you were up there cheering and getting all excited and happy for this year's Super Bowl. So, Kobe, I forgive you. Finally today, our Black History Legacy makers with Philadelphia ties is Frank Tick Coleman. Tick Coleman was a Point Breeze native, went to Central High School and then Lincoln University. While he was at Central, he became the first African-American quarterback to start at Central. And then at Lincoln, he was also their quarterback and was on their wrestling team. He's in both schools' Hall of Fame. But he made his mark off the field. He was involved very early on in Eagle Scouts. He was one of the first black Eagle Scouts. Worked his way up and received a lot of honors and everything for the Eagle Scouts. After graduating Lincoln, he worked as a guidance counselor, mentored hundreds and probably thousands of kids, giving them direction and getting them onto the right path. He was heavily involved in all kinds of charities and organizations to help young people, the Christian Street YMCA, the Wharton Settlement, the Wissahickon Boys Club, Department of Public Assistance, the Department of Rec in Philly, the Peace Corps, the Salvation Army, so many other boys and girls clubs and recreation centers and community centers, just raising money and just being a mentor to young kids and helping them get on the right track. He also was very big still after graduating college in the scouting, helped a lot of underprivileged kids get a chance to get involved with the Girl Scouts. But Frank Tick Coleman, who is best known probably for his off-the-field work with the Scouts and working as a guidance counselor, but was the first African-American to play quarterback at Central High School, is today's Black History Legacy maker with Philadelphia ties. So shout out to you, Frank Tick Coleman, as we salute you. On this day in 2002, NBA All-Star Game, West beat the East 135-120. Kobe Bryant named MVP and then promptly got booed and did not understand why. I can tell you why. Anyway, it's all about the Eagles today. Let me know who your go to the game is. Going Sweaty, you're going Jalen, Carter, going Cooper. I mean, there's so many different ways. I mean, truthfully, Jake Elliott was clutch. I mean, everybody. It's the whole team. It feels so good to come on here and be the Super Bowl champions in such a dominating fashion. It's great. This one, like I said, it's a much different feeling, but it's just more of a, I don't know, it's kind of like an FU type feeling. Like, you know what? We belong. We dominated. It's like Rocky in Rocky 4 when he just completely destroyed Ivan Drago. Like, it feels great. Feels great. And like, I want more. Like, at this point, I'm greedy. I want more. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for February 10th, 2025. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourself some Monday. It's going to be hard to have a bad day today. And until next time, go Birds.